Yo, what's up guys? So today we're not going to be checking out with Spiral. Swap that over here. We're checking out the new Gaia deck. They've got a new fusion. They've got a lot of support to actually allow you to pull off some insane OTKs. Plus, the draw power card is not a once per turn. You can actually stack multiple of them, draw 6 cards in one turn. It's pretty insane. It's not the most practical to be able to draw all 6 cards, but it can happen, which you guys will see here later down the line. Make sure you guys watch till the end of this video because the last replay is anime status, but I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the deck first so you guys can kind of see how the deck plays, and then we're going to have the most hyper replay at the end of this video because I kind of want to, again, be able to talk a little bit about the deck. So basically, a lot of plays with this deck will revolve around going and summoning some smaller monsters, whether it's the Catapult Turtle or going from the Magical Knight and then going into the Curse of Dragon. It negates all of your opponent's effects, and then you get a big boss monster over here, which is the new fusion, Gaia the Magical Dragon Champion. So during the main phase, as a quick effect, you get to discard, you get to target another card in the field, and this card loses 2600 attack, and if it does, destroy that target. But when it destroys an opponent's monster at battle, it can gain 2600 attack points over here. So basically, this guy kind of done goofed. I think he done goofed over here because there is a card that does make it so this card cannot be targeted. Even though this card effect should not target, but I'll get into that effect in a second. But he ends up he's like, dude, I don't want to play anymore. I don't know what was going on with that Spiral player. But nonetheless, Gaia the Magical Dragon Champion is the go-to card. So basically, you have a quick effect to go ahead and pop something up on the board and then lose stats. But you're going to be gaining stats anyways. And we'll go ahead and go show off a bunch of different replays, but you'll get the idea of kind of how this deck wants to play. The deck also technically has this orientation where it kind of wanted to have a Blackluster mix-up. It was back when they tried to make the Blackluster Ritual deck a thing, but it really just didn't have enough support to make it become very viable in the game. But here's one of the other really cool cards. This is Spiral Spear Strike. This is a continuous card that says if Gaia the Fierce Knight, and this effect can actually proc on multiple different Gaias. So if you have 2 different Gaias, you'll get double effects of this. But anyways, if they attack a defense position monster, you get to do piercing. And if Gaia the Dragon Champion inflicts battle damage with this effect, you get to draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. This is not a once per turn effect, and if you have 3 Gaias, then yeah, you can theoretically, if your opponent happens to have the amount of cards, yeah, you can maybe draw like 18, you could, or what is it, yeah, you could draw an insane amount of cards, but realistically your opponent would have to activate summon special summons like, 20 monsters. It's again not realistically going to be happening, and on top of that, more than likely your opponent would have actually lost. You know what I've been seeing so much of, and I just realized because of the structure, I've seen so many people go Shaddoll Pass, Wendy Pass, and I've seen it, and every time they go into Shaddoll Beast, right? I didn't actually check this guy's list, but I just wanted to go ahead and say Wendy Pass is not viable in 2020. Looks like he's got impermanences. Okay, so he's not just playing the structure deck over here. Anyways, but the Magical Dragon Champion can also make up to 2 attacks on monsters. That's the bonus effect that I kind of wanted to go over with the other effect over here. Where is it? This card over here, Spiral Fusion. So this one lets you fusion to go ahead and bring it out in the first place. It also gains 2600 attack, so you can get that effect out immediately. But in addition to that, you get to attack 2 monsters during each battle phase, which is obviously pretty good, so you can get its attack up pretty high. I just wanted to explain that one right there with that one. This guy is playing some Wind Witch, but he's actually showing off a really cool combo that I was unaware of. I'm going to go to the extra deck over here. There's an Ignister card, the Wind Pegasus. This is one of the newer cards over here, and I think this card is fantastic. So he goes ahead and opts to go ahead and go for a Glass Spell with a Called Pass, which I really think the other play would have been better, which is go for this. But I guess he's slow playing it. He's going to go ahead and have that play next turn. So he's going to go ahead and Ice Spell, going to the Glass Spell, and then he's going to go ahead and be able to search the card, and then go for the Snow Bell, and then go ahead and go into a different place. So normally, this is where they make the Wind Witch monster that does like the burn damage, right? So he goes for Wind Pegasus over here, which I think is much better. So he's able to go ahead and during the main phase, destroy spell and traps your opponent controls up to the number at Xhemoz control. So it lets you just pop one card, which is a little bit better. And then it has another bonus effect, which you guys will see later down the line. So he goes ahead and makes the Clear Still Wing, and then he's going to try to activate the Lord Gaia, the Fierce Knight over here, and it makes it so it gains 700 attack. But he's like, no, not happening. And he's just going to go ahead and negate, get rid of it. But Nibiru was there to go ahead and turn him into a giant rock. He's going to go ahead and get this effect of Gaia stopped by the effect bit. And once again, going into that Spiral Fusion, he's going to go ahead and attack over that monster. But this is where this card actually is pretty cool. When Pegasus at Ignister has that ability to make it so if another card you control is destroyed by battle by opponent's card effect while it's in the graveyard, you get to banish this card, target one card the opponent controls, and shuffle it back into the deck. So I thought that was great use of When Pegasus, and it is a newer card, and I kind of want to show off, of course, newer content here. So this is Spiral Reborn. This is the card that I was talking about, which kind of protects some of your cards. So you get a level 7 Lower Dragon monster graveyard, you special summon it, and if it's a Gaia the Dragon Champion, your opponent can't target it with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So it can't be targeted or destroyed, so you kind of have that protection. Again, I'm not sure what the Borlo player did. Maybe he just done goofed on it, but maybe there's a glitch with it. I don't know. Maybe it's translation. I really don't know. Anyways, we got another duel before the ultimate amazing duel is about to happen over here. So first we got it up against Blue Eyes over here. So when you mix up the Gaia, the Fierce Knight, the Soldier Gaia, I've seen lots of builds opt to not go for this guy, but he has the ability to tribute a Dragon Fusion monster to special summon this card from your hand, which usually isn't the greatest because that monster is like decent, right? But if it's special summon, you get to change an attack as a monster on the field to defense position, so you could potentially stall for a little bit. And then you can also attribute this card to add a level 7 or higher warrior monster from your deck to your hand except for itself, which again, it's supposed to be for the BLS stuff, and like while I want to go ahead and do that, like so basically you would stall move something in defense mode and then also tribute it and add BLS in the following turn, you'd be able to do something. I guess that's the goal of it. If it was able to move it to defense position and negate its effects, this card would be actually somewhat useful because you would go ahead and make the card have 0 attack because you activate its effect if it happened to go for that. But now you're going to see the negate everything over here, and then on top of that we have the Spiral Spear Strike. So that's the draw double and then discard. So if you want to think of it like a mini Graceful Charity, kind of like that, and he's able to go ahead and still special summon this, and since it is a Gaia card, you are also able to do the piercing and get that effect again. But again, I've seen some people just kind of drop out on this card. I mean, there's a lot of things in this deck that are just kind of in the test phase right now, but here it is, guys, the ultimate duel over here. This is the one that you guys have been waiting for, and I promise it will deliver over here. So anyways, you're gonna see the Red Dragon Archfiend, or Hot Red, I don't know what I want to call it. It's going to go ahead and be the opponent of course, the Gaia player here. So the Catapult Turtle lets you just go right into the Gaia Fierce Knight monster, level 5 Dragon monster, but usually you go ahead and you can go for this, or you can go ahead and go for whatever target you need to for your combo piece. But he's going to go ahead and start healing up, and he's going to go ahead and make the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane over here, and then he's going to go ahead and attack the Catapult Turtle, but that was supposed to be stopped by the Anki Karibo over here. But he's going to go ahead and Solemn Warning that little guy over there, because it would actually let him reborn, and basically you can go ahead and reborn, bring back the Anki Karibo, and then re-add back the reborn. It's kind of like a little loop over here that you can do. It doesn't have to be for this deck. A lot of I've seen it done a few different times, but anyways, he's going to go ahead and have the effect to attack multiple times, and this is the Sky Galloping Gaia the Dragon Champion. So it becomes Gaia the Dragon Champion while it's on the field, and if this card is special summon, you get to add the Spiral Spear Strike from your deck to your hand, and when this declares an attack, you get to change the battle position. So he's finally able to go ahead and get rid of some of the stuff, and then he's going to go ahead and Soldier Gaia here, and then search out for a Gaia the Magical Knight. This kind of set up for next turn, but don't worry, his board is not actually blank, because Spiral Reborn will be bringing back some of his voids over here. So he's going to go ahead and bring it back during his opponent's turn over here, and then his opponent over here is going to go ahead and try to activate those effects. But again, you're going to be able to add those Spiral Spear Strikes. That's why you can get rid of this card, and you start stacking your Spiral Spear Strikes. This is where the deck gets pretty nasty and gets to the point where, like, you're just doing dumb things. So he's going to go ahead and protect himself a little bit with the Anki Karibo. He's also going to go ahead and have that Red Resonator. That card was going to try to heal up for that huge amount of life points, but that wasn't going to be happening anytime soon, simply due to, of course, him negating it with the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. So there's the Charging Guy. There's the Spiral Reborn. He's going to go ahead and activate that effect to search out another card. He's going to go ahead and activate this and be able to reveal, and then add a level 5 Dragon over here, and then He's going to go ahead and once again negate all the effects. I think he was waiting for the right moment to negate, but it was too late because it negated everything. And now he's got double Sky Gallopings. And remember, cannot be targeted, cannot be destroyed. And then this card can make up to 2 different attacks. And then these are all going to activate all of these effects. So this is where it becomes an anime status. Look at that. Draw 2, discard 1, draw 2, discard 1. And that works with every single time that you're doing it. That's where this deck becomes really insane. Again, it's just something that wouldn't happen in most duels, but like the fact that he was able to go ahead and draw 12 cards, technically it could be, well, he didn't have enough to sustain there, because remember, this card can attack 2 times, and that's each time it actually inflicts that damage. So theoretically what would have happened here is he would have drawn remember, it's 6 cards for each, so that's 12, and then an additional 6. So he would have drawn 18 cards had this actually gone through. It would be draw 18, discard 9. Do you know how insane that is in Yu-Gi-Oh? There's not very many things that will allow you to do that. So yo, if you enjoyed this video, yo, drop a like on it. But we're not done. We got the deck profile for any of you guys who do want to go ahead and play this. And shout out to my boy Xhemoz as well as Zeak for sending me in some of the replays, because we got 2 different builds to share with you guys. So the first one that you guys did see gameplay of was the one that, of course, the first Spiral player. I don't know what he was doing, man. But we got 3 copies in the bureau. It's not really specific to the Gaia deck, but it definitely helps out just like any hand traps would. And then we have the Charging Gaia. We got the Lord Gaia, 3 copies of the Gaia the Magical Knight, 3 copies of the Tenyi Dragon of Vishuda. This is just another special summon card. It is a worm though, to keep that in mind. It's not a dragon, unfortunately. And then we have Curse of Dragonfire, 3 copies of the Curse of Dragon. This is the new card where you're able to go ahead and add that spell trap that lists Gaia on it. And then Catapult Turtle, tributes a monster to special summon Gaia the Fierce Knight, or you get to get a level 5 dragon monster. Then we got the Summoner Monk to go ahead and go into the Catapult Turtle over there, so it kind of helps out for consistency. We have 2 copies of Instant Fusion, 2 copies of the Return of the Dragon Lord, so you can go ahead and bring back some of your cards over here. And then we got 3 copies of Sacred Sword, so you can go ahead and get rid of some of the cards that might just not be the greatest in your hand if you clog up. And then we got the Terraforming, 2 copies of Spiral Fusion. This is just for the new Master Rules. Spiral Spirit Strike, he opted to play 1 of them. I think this card is really cool, but it is technically searchable. Again, when you get to draw 18, like, it's just insane. Then we got the Gateway to Chaos, 3 copies of Charging Gaia, and then 3 copies of Spiral Reborn. Heck, you can draw more than 18, but again, more than likely you've won the duel at that point. It's pointless, but it's cool, right? We got the Furious Dragon, we got the Sky Galloping Gaia, the Dragon Champion, 3 copies of Gaia the Magical Dragon. I was also thinking that if you are matching up against certain decks, you could definitely throw in some Super Polys and make use of your opponent's dragons. That would be kind of cool. And then we got Millennium Eyes, Thousand Eyes, we got the Hakai, Blackluster, Chaos War. It's supposed to be kind of there. The deck doesn't really need Link Summons, but obviously having like Unicorn, Phoenix, like Nightmare, those are all just great cards in general to go ahead and have. And then for the other variant, which was Zeke's build over here, so we got BLS, 3 copies of Soldier Gaia. I love this guy, but unfortunately he's just not good in 2020 anymore. Gaia the Magical Knight, 3 copies of Interplanetary Purpley Thorny Dragon. This card is actually kind of usable because it is a level 5, plus it happens to be a dragon. It kind of lets you stall, so it could be there for another ease of access. You could also keep in mind, Allure of Darkness could be a great card as well to go ahead and add into the deck if you want to cycle through your cards a little bit faster. Then we have 3 copies of Curse of Dragonfire in this build over here. So when it's normal or special, you get to target a field spell card and then destroy it. And then on top of that, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control, so you don't even need to have material or the fusion card for it. And then we have the Curse Dragon, Curse of Dragon. 3 copies of a Catapult Turtle, it's definitely required. And then he's got the little Anki Kariba loop over here. Then 3 copies of Spiral Fusion, and then 3 copies of Spiral Spear Strike, and then 3 copies of Charging Gaia. I didn't get to explain this card's effect during the duels over here, but while Gaia the Dragon Champion is in your monster zone, your opponent can't activate cards or effects during the battle phase. And then you can also activate one of these effects. So you can reveal a Gaia Fierce Knight to add a level 5 dragon monster, or you can reveal a dragon monster to add Gaia the Fierce Knight. So basically it lets you just kind of cycle through cards. I think this is an excellent card in the deck for consistency here. And again, remember, with Allure of Darkness, you can go ahead and cycle through your cards if you want to go ahead and utilize it just for some more extra draw power potentially. And then we have 3 copies of Beginning Heaven and Earth. So you reveal 3 warrior type monsters from your deck, including at least 1 BLS and or Gaia the Fierce Knight. You have your opponent randomly pick one, and and if they pick Black Muscle Soldier or Gaia for your sniper monster, you get to add it to your hand, but you're just going to reveal those anyways. And then you send the rest to the graveyard. And then we have Spiral Reborn, so lets you go ahead and bring out a level 7 or lower dragon monster in your graveyard, and then you can get to do special summon it, which we went over. And it does kind of add some protection. And we have 3 Call Hunters to kind of bring back our cards even harder. And then Spiral Discharge to make it so while Gaia, the Dragon Champion, is your monster zone, your opponent monsters cannot target monsters for attack except for Gaia, Dragon Champion. But when an attack is declared involving your Gaia, the Dragon Champion, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. We didn't get to see this during the gameplay, but it's pretty self-explanatory on what the heck it does. Basically, they attack, and you just go ahead and pop 1 card. So kind of helps out. This is a very minimalistic extra deck. I'm sure he's still working on the deck. Obviously, there's no reason why not to have multiple cards. I'm thinking if you really wanted to, you only really need like 1 and 1 of these. So if you really want to, just go for some RNGs, throw an Extravagance in the deck, and I think you can maybe get some extra draw power along with Allure, or if you want to go for Desires. I think the deck definitely needs some draw power to just be able to push and go for those big plays to OTK, because the deck does not really have a good chance up against any deck that would negate a bunch of times. So maybe adding other cards for disruption like Nibiru would be excellent as well, because remember, you giving your opponent more cards, that's more draw power, much more potential for you to go ahead and do some massive amounts of piercing damage. You're going to be able to gain 2600 attack, and then it's going to gain another 2600 attack. You can get up the card up to insane stats. But anyways, that's the new Gaia deck in 2020. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, turn on that bell so you don't miss out on cool new Yu-Gi-Oh decks like this one over here. And shoutouts once again to my boy Zeak as well as Xhemoz for the replays. I'll link them down below. If you guys want to send me in other replays as well, feel free to do so and I'll give you a shout out. But thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one, and I'm out. Peace.